What up guys, this is Kong and today I'm going to be doing another anime review. Today I'm going to be talking about Megalo Box episode 8 and 9 I believe. What happened in the episode 8 I believe is that there's a fight between Joe and Shirato. And then so basically I'm gonna sum it up just quickly for you guys what I take from this episode, and then I'm gonna talk about episode 9. So episode 8 is basically, the fight between Shirato and Joe, and where it comes down is that Shirato is really dependent on this mechanical gears, that he's so reliant on it that he almost sort of, like I said, lose his fundamental of boxing, lose his intuitive skill, his judgment call. He lose all of that would make a good boxer, or would make a genuine article, and he doesn't. He sort of lose that, and no. The second thing is that Joe, I'm not Joe, the Shirato, Joe's opponent, that he is human, that he's unable to, I guess, match the speed or durability of the mechanical gear, because he is human. He wear it out, he get tired. That's what we are. We're human. We get tired at one point, we get exhausted, and that's one thing. So those are the two things that I find, that make Joe's opponent, or Shirato, a weak opponent, or not a worthy opponent, not a genuine article. And one thing is that Shirato is so full of himself, believes that he can beat Joe, and in the fight he does. You think that he can't do it. You believes it. It looks like it. But one flawed thing is that he had put up the auto block, that will force him to actually block, and that the machine, the mechanical gear, is actually doing the fighting for him, almost in a sense. But it does that based on reading the opponent. So that's one thing also, in addition to the weakness of Shirato. So that's why he is a lesser of a genuine article. That's why Joe was able to beat Shirato, because Joe had to really, read his player. He read his boxer, his opponent, use his experience, gamble a little bit, bluff a little bit, really read his opponent. And that's what made Joe a better fighter than Shirato, because he is fighting without any gear. He is boxing like a traditional boxer without any mechanical gear. That make him a more lethal opponent, because he doesn't have any gear, because you don't have that, you don't have that extra way to carry around with you, and he's just bare knuckles. So that's why Shirato lost, because Joe was able to dodge the right punch, no, the left punch, and then Joe did an uppercut, a left uppercut, and that's what Shirato was. He was out. He was out of the game, out of the match. He lost fair and square, for obvious reason, as I point out, because he is human, mechanical gear. He's too reliant on it, and he made a mistake because of his ego that made him make that mistake. He could have won that fight, but he did not. So now let's talk about episode 9. I believe it's episode 9. So basically, the whole gist of this episode is really come down to Mr. Nambu, which is Joe's coach. They both, so to speak, owe this mob boss, or this loan shark, money that they can't get out. and it's a rigged fight, basically. What it really is, that Mr. Nomu is basically just leading a false dream for Joe. You know, he's never gonna take Joe to the Megalonia. He's never gonna take Joe to the championship. You know, to beat Yuri. You know, he was never gonna do that. He was always gonna always cheat or always give up on Joe. He never truly believe in Joe. You know, he's just doing it for the money. He's doing it for his own selfish gain. The way to get the mob boss was telling about the, you know, this with the frog about the river, and there's a scorpion need to cross the river, but he see the frog, and the frog say, you know, I can't have you on my back because you're gonna sting me, and the scorpion say, no, I won't. You gotta trust me, and the frog let him on his back. Halfway through crossing the river, the scorpion stung the frog, and they both drowned. And he was just in that essence. That the story of that is that Mr. Nomu and the mob gangster is that they were never gonna let Joe, you know, achieve his dream. They're always gonna cut short. They're always gonna cut short. That is in their nature, because they are, Mr. Nomu and the mob boss, they are driven by their own selfish gain. They're driven by money. You know, Mr. Nomu is driven because he owes the mob boss money, and he's not gonna do in all his power to take Joe to the championship match, because that's who he is. He's all talk. That's what he is. Joe is doing the heavy lifting. He's taking the beating. He's doing the punches. The coach, Mr. Nambu, is doing nothing other than just talking. So that's what we really learned. And then we also learned that the little kid, Sachio, his father was one of the original architecture engineer that worked for the Shirato company. And so he had, Mr. Nambu had brought to the lady, the owner, and said, hey, you need to take this him. You're responsible. Take him. And then Mr. Nambu is left off, you know. So from what I get from this story, from this episode 9, is that I think Joe need to really leave Mr. Nambu behind, because Mr. Nambu doesn't fully believe in Joe's capability, Joe's passion. He doesn't believe in it. Maybe he may, but he doesn't believe it fully. He doesn't support Joe all the way. He's not willing to sacrifice his life with Joe when Joe is sacrificing his own life for his own dream. So Mr. Nambu falls short on that because he owes the mob boss money, and he's not trying to find a way to get the most out of the debt. You know, that's the original goal, was to go to Megalonia, to beat the championship and to pay off the debt. But the mob boss will never do that, because the mob boss is like a leech. What the leech does is they keep sucking the blood out of their host until their host is no longer there. That's what the mob boss are, and that's what the loan sharks are, or the banks are when they loan you credit, is when you fall in debt. That's what they do to their hosts or their partners, is to leech as much as you can. And I think that Joe is gonna leave Mr. Nambu behind. I hope he does, because Mr. Nambu is a scorpion. He is destined to drown himself. He is destined to fall. You know, and Joe is destined to rise above and to go to the championship. Whether he wins or not, as long as he's going to the championship, he have achieved his dream. And that's why I think there is gonna be a departure between the partnership between Mr. Nambu and Joe, because Mr. Nambu is really dragging Joe down. He is almost a nuisance. He's almost a baggage, to speak, a financial baggage, because, you know, he doesn't fully support. You know, you can't find a way to, you know, get them both out of the situation. But I have hope for Mr. Nambu, because I think he's genuinely seemed to be a good guy. It's just have fallen on his head, and he's fallen to old habits. So that's what I believe. And then let's talk about the conversation between Yuri and Joe. It's like, Joe is mad about Mr. Nambu, the whole situation, and then Yuri had to let the dog out to pee or get some breather, whatever. And you see Joe, and he's talking about that, having the conversation why they're doing this. And we find out that they both have a dream to be a championship, to win a championship, or to go to a championship match, to fight in one, to aspire, to motivate themselves. They are not so different from each other. They are almost the same. What I like about what Joe says is that I want to fight you with pure, raw fists. He wasn't talking about mechanical fists. He was talking about actual human fists. Without any gear. And I was like, wow. I like that because it's truly going back to the old way of boxing without any gear. And maybe we may see that Yuri might make that choice of actually not using mechanical gear and actually fighting Joe on a fair and square match of no mechanical gear. It's just pure raw boxing with glove. And I hope to see that, because that would be sweet. That would be, to me, that Yuri have actually grown. He realized that in order to be a genuine article or a genuine boxer, you have to fight with pure fist with glove, not with mechanical gears. And I hope that comes, because that would be epic. That would be beautiful. That would be a sight to see, because that's what it really is. That's what boxing is supposed to be about. It's about experience. It's about style, strategic, about tactic, that sort of thing. Yes, mechanical gear is there to enhance it, but in these kind of match, I feel like it have to be just pure hand-to-hand combat, pure hand-to-hand boxing. And that would be, to me, I feel like that would be the boxing of the century, So, that is the end of my anime review of Megalo Box episode 8 and 9. Please like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and browse my YouTube channel, and press that bell button. Help me and then help you. It's a two-way street, alright? But most importantly, I want to thank you so much for your time and effort to watching my anime review of Megalo Box episode 8 and 9. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.